Your forecast first from KARK4.
It's been a pretty quiet evening, but a few showers and thunderstorms are making their way toward northwest Arkansas. They were severe in parts of Oklahoma earlier, but they are weakening. Big storm system moving for the Great Lakes is actually going to be moving more east than south, so the impacts of that front very limited for Arkansas. And the National Hurricane Center also watching a tropical disturbance continuing to form over the Bahamas. That's likely to be Tropical Storm Umberto by the weekend. We'll let you know if that's going to have an impact around here. Your forecast for us for Little Rock, looking for a partly cloudy to mostly sunny day for your Friday. Shower thunderstorm in the afternoon. We're going to top it out in the low to mid 90s. Arkansas News That Matters starts right now.
Now, from the station you count on for local news that matters, this is KARK4 News at 10.
This is a spiritual war. It's not just people killing people. Minds and hearts have to be changed.
Homicides in Pine Bluff spark clergy across the city to talk ways to curb violence. Thanks for joining us tonight at 10 o'clock, everybody. I'm Bob Clausen.
And I'm Ashley Katz. Our Susan L. Corey joins us now. And Susan, what are they hoping to accomplish here?
Yeah, the clergy that met here tonight want to try to put action behind those words to try and stop the violence. Now, they have taken some steps, but it is coming with challenges. This is what that meeting looked like tonight. You can see only a handful of people there. All clergy, regardless of faith, were invited, but that's a pretty low turnout considering there are upwards of 300 churches in the city. Talk here was about different community programs they're working on, big focus on education. Everyone I spoke to say more clergy need to step in to try and show a united front.
We need each other in that one component of driving the gospel throughout the streets, throughout the community of Pine Bluff.
When are we going to step up? Where are you? Because the blood is always crying up from the ground. And we need to be, as pastors, we need to be unified on this issue.
One of the Stop the Violence programs you can see is crosses like this, which clergy are putting out to mark where someone was murdered. Another point they talked about was the 10-point plan, which was introduced last year. That's a way to curb violence in the city. They tell me a big challenge with that has just been getting funding. In Pine Bluff, Susan L. Corey, back to you.
Susan, thanks very much. Meanwhile, church leaders in Hot Springs are uniting through prayer for their city. Each week, this group made up of pastors, priests, and other religious leaders come together to pray. They call themselves the Church of Hot Springs, and they've been meeting for years now. The concept is to look past denomination differences that separate the religions and look at the uniting factor of Jesus. Each week, the host church is different and the prayer intentions vary, but the camaraderie is always the same.
Hold each other, we pray for each other, we support each other in difficult times, we celebrate with each other, and so we've learned to be brothers.
They say it's also therapeutic to be able to talk amongst themselves about some of the challenges that come up while practicing ministry. They hope other cities will follow their lead.
Little Rock police busy tonight investigating who shot someone off Roosevelt Road during the afternoon rush. It happened around 5:30 near Arch Street. Officers say a person was shot in the leg, expected to survive. Good news there. At this point, detectives think an argument between the victim and the suspect sparked the gunfire. No one's been arrested. If you know anything about this, naturally you're being urged to contact Little Rock Police Department. A Conway man lucky to be alive after fighting with police and then shooting his gun in the process. It began when police were arresting the man on felony charges. He began fighting and he fired a gun that he was hiding from them. Fortunately, the bullet didn't hit anyone and police didn't shoot back. Generally, they hit what they shoot at. Police are putting together just exactly what charges this guy will be facing, along with the original felony that he was wanted for.
Fort Smith police are investigating a possible hate crime tonight. This after someone discovered their tires had been slashed. The caller who reported the incident also found racially charged and insensitive language sprayed onto their cars and the garage. Arkansas does not have its own hate crime law, but police have forwarded the case to the FBI for consideration under federal law.
Some people say they don't like going to the dentist's office, but few burn them down. However, police in Farmington arrested a man for doing just that. According to the preliminary report, Jimmy Morrill admitted to a roommate that he set fire at River Dental. He now faces charge of commercial burglary and arson. He also told police that he was upset because the dentist office denied him care because of a health concern and referred him to a medical doctor instead. And there's more. Police say that He wanted to clear the air, apparently, he told them. He wanted to get it off his conscience, and he confessed to another arson, a fire in Fayetteville that happened in March 2017.
Which jail are we going to? As long as it's not Washington County, jeez, I hate that place. About 12 years ago, a dude was throwing me back and forth in the back with no cuffs on. Sorry about all that.
Springdale police have released dash cam video of the arrest of former Razorback star quarterback and NFL free agent Ryan Mallett. He was arrested around 7 o'clock Tuesday night in Springdale under suspicion of driving under the influence. The video shows Mallett being placed in the vehicle and then talking with officers on his way to jail. Police say Mallett was behind the wheel of his truck when he crashed into another car. The driver told police Mallett swerved in the middle of the road. Mallett admitted to police that he had drank a beer. An arrest report shows he had a blood alcohol level of 0.08. He was also cited for careless prohibited driving. He will be back in court in October.
We won't be seeing any state Senator Jason Rapert deposition from a lawsuit that is challenging the Ten Commandments monument at the state capitol. And that's because a federal judge ruled Wednesday to temporarily limit who can see the video of his testimony on grounds it could be used to harass the senator. Several groups are challenging the monument. Rapert co-sponsored the 2015 law requiring the privately funded statue and is a critical witness in the lawsuit. It will go to trial in December.
Farmers from across the country are calling on Congress to pass a new trade deal with Mexico and China. They say a new deal will spur profits and grow jobs in the heartland where soybean and corn farmers are struggling to get by.
Our Washington correspondent Raquel Martin has more from farmers rallying from the state capitol.
We got to finish this drill and get it done.
At the end of a 20,000-mile, 30-state listening tour, farming advocates say it's time to act. They want Congress to pass the new trade deal with Mexico and Canada.
Let's get USMCA done. Let's turn our farmers loose and let's see what potential they really have.
American Farm Bureau President Zippy Duvall says the USMCA will open billions in new trade partnerships for U.S. farmers and create thousands of agriculture jobs.
Farmers do not want aid. They want trade.
A lot of rain and just real challenges.
On top of the rough weather, Indiana farmer Randy Crone says the trade dispute with China has made this his worst year to date. But he says the USMCA deal will take off some of the pressure.
We need some market certainty. We need to know where our products are going. We need access to markets.
But Democrat leaders aren't sold yet. For months they've pushed back, demanding the deal include better policies on labor and drug pricing. On Wednesday, they received a revision addressing those concerns.
Let's work hard. Let's get this across the finish line. Time is of the essence.
Both Republicans and Democrats, like California Congressman Jim Costa, say this deal is the best option available.
The third alternative is to have no agreement, and I think that would be disastrous.
Supporters are optimistic the deal passes before the end of October. In Washington, Raquel Martin.
Walking around downtown Camden with a beer in your hand could be a reality if the city okays creating an entertainment district. Aldermen are weighing that decision. It would allow open containers in a stretch of downtown on Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. City Council could vote on this as early as next week.
It is back to school for several teachers in Jefferson County who will get their master's degree tuition-free. 7 teachers are the first to get scholarships from the Go Forward Pine Bluff project. In return for degree, recipients have to work their current school for 3 years. This is just the first batch Go Forward and has set aside also $500,000 in a push to retain qualified teachers.